So I've been playing Mirandus again, the recent playtest, and look, I'll be honest, the first few playtests left me feeling about as inspired as a PowerPoint presentation at a funeral. Pretty underwhelming, especially when you consider the mountain of money that's allegedly been poured into this game. I mean, if I had $1 for every time Gala promised the moon, I could probably buy back my Townstar node and still regret it. But this latest playtest, I'll give credit where it's due. For the first time, I actually started to feel a little immersed. Not fully, but enough that I wasn't constantly checking the clock, wondering why I wasn't just playing a RuneScape Classic instead. Now, quick bit of history, the original Mirandus dev team, gone, evaporated faster than the community trust during an NFT mint. Since then, Gala brought in a new South American team, mainly based in Chile, as far as I'm aware. And from what I gather, they've basically spent months just trying to decode spaghetti code from the first crew. And here's the fun part. I didn't hear this from Gala. Nope, not in their updates, not in any polished Medium posts. I heard it in the good old-fashioned way through Reddit gossip and YouTube comments, because that's how you run a multi-million-dollar gaming project, right? Communication through whispers and memes. But fine, it looks like this new team is finally getting their bearings, because in this playtest, some things actually started to click. Let's start with pets. Yes, pets are now a thing. You'll see me rocking my dragon companion in this video. It wasn't just handed to me though. No, I had to collect 10 cards from Townstar for this, which for once means Townstar actually served a purpose other than reminding me of that time I got rug pulled for 15k on a node. That now does absolutely nothing. Shout out to the lifetime passive income dream, may it rest in peace. Still, I like the pets idea. They come with perks and they add some personality to the otherwise lonely grid. My dragon doesn't breathe fire, but at least it distracts me from the fact that the goblins are built like steroid-pumped UFC fighters. For once the world actually felt immersive. The sound effects hit pretty nicely, visuals are decent, not jaw-dropping, but I wasn't squinting in disgust either. Walking through regions like the Red Forest actually gave me that survival vibe. At night without a torch, it's pitch black, and honestly, I like that. Adds realism, makes you feel like you're actually surviving, not just on another theme park ride. The lack of an in-game map is another interesting choice. Frustrating, sure, but it forces you to memorize routes and landmarks. Feels a bit like the early days of MMOs before every game started holding your hand with quest markers glowing like a neon sign outside a Vegas strip club. That said, the immersion only goes so far when there are about 5 people online. Look, there were players, I met some, but in a game that wants to be a massive online RPG, some isn't enough. It's not going to be a nightclub, and finding out the only people on the dance floor are the DJ's cousins. They did add global voice chat, which I actually think is essential for the game's social element. Problem is, it barely worked. Half the time the mics didn't register, the other half it sounded like players were yelling through a Nokia 3310 underwater. Gala, please fix the voice chat. You can't build a social world without social features. Now let's talk Exemplars. I used mine for this playtest. I did have the halfling. I've also got the entire set of dwarves as well as one human. But here's the thing. For a while, even people without an Exemplar can play for free on that last particular playtest. My take though, they should keep it that way. Why? Because it's insane to gatekeep feedback behind an NFT purchase. Yes, you can get an Exemplar for under $5 now, but that's not the point. The real barrier is the process, setting up wallets, connecting accounts, fiddling with crypto nonsense just to test and join a playtest. At this stage, in my opinion, it's unnecessary friction when you're trying to accumulate raw data that's also unbiased. You want real players, not just bag holders. Let people jump in, die to goblins and rage quit. That's real feedback. That's how you make the game better. Okay, onto the survival mechanics. This is actually where the playtest shined a bit. Hunger, crafting, curing, meat making, making weapons, baking flatbread, all solid survival vibes. I love that I had to stock up on provisions before heading out. Felt more like a real adventure than just spamming health pots. That said, bread was overpowered. You could basically harvest wheat for free and crank out loaves all day. Meanwhile, meat took ages to cure and didn't give much extra benefit compared to the actual bread itself. So I ended up running a bread-based diet. Forget keto, forget carnivore. In Mirandus, we're all gluten-powered peasants. Combat has definitely improved. Wolves were killing me constantly. Goblins, absolute units. Way too strong to be honest. Unless you've got a squad, soloing goblins feels like trying to mug Mike Tyson with a butter knife. Variety is still lacking. Though wolves, goblins, bigger goblins, a few deer running around, but come on, that doesn't count. We need more monsters, more danger, more reasons to panic besides the energy bar running out mid-fight. The world itself does look promising. Different regions, eerie graveyards, cool cemeteries as spawn points. I'm also a homestead holder, and honestly, I'd love to see those put to use. Right now, they're basically NFTs gathering dust. But hey, if you believe in Mirandus long term, homestead prices are pretty low right now. Could be a bargain. Not financial advice, obviously, because if it was, we'd all be broke already. So here's my honest take. Mirandus is heading in the right direction. Finally, the immersion is improving, the mechanics are decent, and there are glimpses of a real MMO here. But it's still bare bones. After a solid day of playing, I hit that wall, the boredom wall. Not enough quests, not enough NPCs, and fighting goblins solo just isn't sustainable. It's been nearly 5 years since Gala first hyped this game. At this rate, I really hope it doesn't take another 5 before we can actually play it in any meaningful way. Otherwise, the only thing we'll be farming is, well, disappointment. In summary, it was better than I expected, but still a long way to go. I'll keep covering updates as they come, so if you want the brutally honest truth, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button because someone's got to keep Gala honest, and it sure as hell isn't always going to be Gala.